Hey guys, Evacso here, welcome to the channel. So I've got professional difficulty realistic sliders. I've got two sets, so these ones are for the longer halves and then I've got shorter half sliders. So these longer half sliders are for 8 minutes to 10 minute halves and the shorter sliders for like 4 to 7 minute halves. Now these sliders are good for also the players that find the world class difficulty sliders a little bit too difficult. So you can play on professional, these ones. I'm hoping these sliders are good enough for professional difficulty players and world class difficulty players. There will be a few things that you can change to make it a little bit harder and a little bit easier. I'll get through that into that later. Before we get into the sliders, please like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm pushing for 4K subscribers and I like to get there as quick as possible. Let's get into it. So these are for the longer halves, so 8 minutes all the way to 10 minute halves. Obviously the difficulty level is professional and all these sliders are on game speed or at slow pace. Now for the camera settings, I've got these at broadcast. You go down here, you custom these. I got the height at 0, zoom at 0, far side focus on 5, ball tracking speed on 0. Now the reason I just changed them just then is because these change to default sometimes. So got to make sure you check your camera settings sometimes. But yeah, you got to custom the camera settings. Height 0, zoom 0, far side focus on 5, ball tracking speed on 0. Now into the user sliders. So I've got the sprint speed at 3 and acceleration at 49. So that's actually a bit quicker than I usually have them at. Shot error at 67, so I've lowered that a little bit. These sliders should be like, there's a little bit more or less difficulty. So obviously because it's professional difficulty. So I've lowered the shot error a little bit, lowered the pass error a little bit, just to get players easier to play the game. So pass error at 57, shot speed at 45, pass speed at 46, injury frequency at 60, severity at 30, goal capability at 50, marking at 66. It's a little bit lower than usual, but for professional difficulty, the AI doesn't really attack as well as they usually would, obviously. Run frequency at 30, line height at 55, line length at 48, line width at 52, fullback positioning at 35, and I've got the power bar at 50. Now, I usually have this on 55, but, well, most players can play professional difficulty on 50 power bar. If you do find it a little bit difficult to score some goals, it is a good way of putting it up to 55. That will fix your issue there. And first touch control error at 65. Into the CPU sliders, got sprint speed at 4 and acceleration at 50. So you got the 1 extra sprint speed and the 1 extra acceleration. Again, if you're finding this actually a little bit too hard, then you can put this down to 3 as well, sprint speed. And if you're finding it a little bit too easy, you can put their sprint speed up by 1. So there's another change you can do. Got shot error at 67, pass error at 55, shot speed at 30, pass speed at 48, injury frequency at 60, severity at 30, goal capability at 50, marking at 71. So you can put this up by 1 or 2 as well, or put it down to 70. So just by 1 or 2, that's all you can change marking. Run frequency at 41, line height at 52, line length at 42, line width at 49, fullback positioning at 40, and I've got the first touch control error at 60. So that is it for the longer half sliders. Let's get into the short game sliders. Alright, the short game sliders. So I've been using these sliders on 6 minute halves. That's where they're best used on. You can use them at 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes obviously, and 7 minutes. Difficulty level is professional, and again, game speed is at slow pace. Same camera settings. Let's get in the sliders. So sprint speed on 2, acceleration 49, so 1 less sprint speed. These sliders are a little bit more difficult. We've got the shot error at 70, pass error at 58, shot speed at 44, and the pass speed is also at 44. You can put this one up by 45 or 46 if you find it a little bit difficult to score goals. Injury frequency at 60, severity at 30, goal capability at 50. If you're conceding a little bit too many goals, you can put this one up as well. Marking at 68, run frequency at 20, line height at 55, line length at 45, line width at 51. You can put this up by 1 or 2 if you're obviously defending far too easy and you're not conceding any goals. Fullback positioning at 35, power bar at 50. Again, you can put this up to 55 if you're struggling to score goals or even just struggling holding the ball. That's one of the main things that can be changed. First touch control error is at 70, so that's an extra 5 from the longer halves. Now in the CPU sliders, got sprint speed at 4, acceleration at 50, shot error at 70, pass error at 55, shot speed at 30. So that's the same shot speed. Usually I put this a little bit lower, but the CPU for professional difficulty don't shoot that well. Like, I never really conceded any goals. Even though I'm not really for this difficulty, I was trying to concede some goals and the CPU just weren't really shooting that well. So I kept that at 30. Pass speed at 48, injury frequency at 60, severity at 30, goal capability at 50, marking at 74. You can put this one up by 1 or 2 or lower it down by 1 or 2 depending if how you're going. Run frequency at 35, line height at 52, line length at 40, line width at 48, fullback positioning at 40. I got their first touch control error at 65. So please leave a comment after you tested these sliders, whether it is the longer half game sliders or the shorter game sliders. I'd just like to know how they're going, if they're too easy or too hard, or what kind of difficulty you usually play on. If you play on professional difficulty or world class, I'd like to know if you find it a bit too easy or too hard. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys later.